Welcome to Weekend Project. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to find out what's that foot and what does it do. So we have 2 feet. We're gonna do this like, you know, baby steps here, because sometimes you get a machine, or maybe you just got a brand new machine since the holidays just passed, and you're curious with all these feet and what do they do. So we'll start off with the basics. What I have right here is what we call is a regular foot. This is for these are feet that I have for my Janome Horizon, and as well as my other Janome. Their feet are pretty much the same when it comes to Janome. So if you have a Bernina or a Viking or a Juki or whatever, it will be a little bit, maybe a little bit different, but the principle pretty much is the same. So we have here is a zigzag foot, which is nice and open, which gives you the movement. Let's go over here so you can see. It's a nice open foot here, which allows the big back and forth of the zigzag to happen. And this one right here is what they call a ditch stitch quilter or quilt foot. So this little black part here rides right in the fabric right here as you put that little seam, that we have right here on our project that we're going to do today. And that it should stitch really close to it. I noticed that I had to move my needle over just a little bit. So get a practice piece first before you want to take on stitching in the ditch, because when I did it just by loading up the foot, it went just next to it, and it was just a little, and of course if you want it right in the ditch, you're going to want to have to move your needle just over just a smidge. So do a little practice piece first, okay? So to finish off this project that we did here a couple of weekends ago via live stream, we're going to finish off. So we're going to zigzag around the star up here, and then we're going to quilt it by using the stitch in the ditch foot, okay? So first we're going to zigzag, and then we're going to take it off the batting because we don't want to zigzag it on the batting, okay? Move our little foot over here so we're not going to lose it. Okay, now this is like a quick release for the feet, so you just kind of line it up here. So we line it up, and then we just push. There's like a little button that, or your foot down, and then it locks it into place just like that. Okay, so you can see there's a big gap in the middle there for you to stitch your zigzag motion with. Okay, now when most machines you have options when it comes to zigzag. You've got a zigzag button to just switch it to, and then you can adjust the widths and the lengths of it. Oops, camera's gonna freak out. I'm sorry about that. What's in the lengths of it. I like doing 4.0 and then a 0.50, so that makes it the zigzag close together but not too wide apart. So we'll show you what that looks like here. Okay, so that's what the stitch of what I used to get it to go. Okay, so it's already preset. Let's line up here. Sorry, trying to give you a really good view. And then we're just going to zigzag because we just want to go around the star. We're going to try and stay most in the purple. Okay, so I'm trying to do this and hold a camera all at the same time, so forgive me if it's a little wonky. And then when you get to the top, kind of making sure it's going on the other side, lift your foot, do your pivot. Okay, pivot all the way to the other side. You have to put your foot down and adjust it. I'm sorry. I need like 5 arms. Okay, there. And then if you think you're good to go, then go stitch it. If not, pop your needle all the way up and then realign so it's stitching on the zigzag. Okay, and then straight on down to the next connector. Trying to always stop on the outside when it comes to projects. See how the needle's trying to go on the outside? And then just lift the foot and pivot the fabric. Drop the foot. Put the needle up and then just reassess. And then just zigzag down. Okay. Alright, so this. Now, the zigzag stitch is fantastic for obviously stitching down applique. It's also a nice decorative stitch. You can also use it to put on binding or just doing as quilting, doing a little bit wider. It's also as a great drawing tool or a thread painting tool. That stitch. Zigzag is very versatile. Okay. Now, got that all done. So that's how it zigzagged. I could have come a little bit better on the corners here, but I was trying to balance. So, but you know, you do better than me, okay? So here's that cute little project. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the backing and the batting together, and then we're going to try and put the little wedge that's in the foot, that little wedge right there in the foot, in that little crease, or in the seam, sorry, and then we're going to stitch down in it. All right, that's what we're going to do. Stick with me. Now, let's put this over here, lay it out proper, okay? And then for the quick release, it's a black button at the back of the shank, whether it's high shank or low shank, depends on your machine, and it just pops the foot off, and then that you can put your other feet on, okay? And then don't forget to go back to a straight stitch on this one, okay? And I found a bigger stitch was necessary. It doesn't need a 2.4 to do a stitch in the ditch. I'd go more like a 3.5 to a 4. I think that seems more appropriate. Doesn't have to be so intense. Oops, I got it stuck under there. Okay. Now just move that little regular foot outside. I didn't have to change anything on my machine to do that stitch for this one here. Okay. And like I said, we just want to make sure we've got our backing and our batting and everything all the way around. I think we'll just secure it with a couple of pins before we're going to start in the center and work our way outwards. I think that seems the more logical way to go. And this was a really fun project to put together. The pattern was free. You should go check out the live stream. So we had good fun. I think that was that the Christmas Eve live stream? I'm not sure. I think it was. Maybe it was the Christmas Eve live stream. Okay. All right, just pop those in, and then we'll use that foot. Okay. This is new to me. I haven't really used this foot before. When I experimented with it, I'm like, not quite stitching quite in the ditch, but maybe with a little tweak and we can figure you out. Okay. So be careful. It is hanging lower, right? It is hanging lower, so you got to be careful. You're not catching it on anything. And then I just want to go like right across the branches of the tree. Okay. And I did notice that when I stitched the first time around, actually here, I'll show you the sample because I wanted to use it with something that was already quilted. It was stitching right next to it if I didn't adjust it. So if you adjust the needle over just a few little spaces, or like even one space, it should stitch in the ditch for you. Okay, so just be aware that to use it on a practice piece first so you know where it's going. And that seemed to be consistent. It was consistent as I kept it and trying to ride in the seam, it was consistent. Okay, so now we shift our needle. I'm going to shift my needle like 2 spots that way, okay? And I am stitching with white thread, so it should be all right. And I'm gonna rest that little blade or skate, whatever, right in the seam as I get close to it. Okay, right in the seam. It's right there, tucked up against it. See how that's tucked right up in there? Okay. And then just with your foot on the pedal, keeping it in that little groove. Let's see how it looks at the back. Well, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good at the back. Let's see if I can get over there to you. Can't really see. But we're getting there. I don't know if that's even helping at all. I'm so sorry. Oh boy. I was a dreamer. I do miss my walking foot when it comes to this stuff, though. Yeah, it seems to, you kind of, not necessarily have to force it, but you do have to be a little bit more persuasive with it, for sure. So, all right, so that's what one stitch past looks like. It's not bad. We probably could have went maybe one more over in the stitch in the ditch part, but it's pretty much hit it. It's pretty much hit it. Oop. Sorry, did you want to close up there? Okay. And those are our 2 feet for today. So you got the ditch stitch foot and the zigzag foot with a nice big open toe there to go way back and forth with your like 5 or 5.0 stitch out if you want to go all the way across. Because you're doing jelly roll rug, or you're putting weaving pieces together, or what have you, binding strip and carpet making. It'll do the job for you for sure. And with that, we're going to keep finishing stitching this up this way to complete it, because it is a wall hanging and I would like to get it done. And it was such a fun project to do. So thank you everybody for joining me today. Big hugs to you. We'll see you Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to continue our sorry, stash buster of the blue and purple with the log cabin with a twist. Okay, take care. We'll see you soon.